Hey guys, it's Max, and as I promised you, and a lot of you have been waiting, yes, today I finally bring you my first definitive version of Runic Radiant Typhon, or Radiant Typhon Runic, more best known as the Magnificestorming, the MST deck. So much prattle. But there have been a few complications. I made the deck first, I tested it out, it wasn't running how I liked it, and then I took it to locals. The results were more than lackluster because the build I had at the time wasn't really good going, second, because this deck you want to go first, but if you end up going second, you do want to have cards that can, break the opponent's board apart for as much as possible. So we now have this. I do want to call the definitive first version of this deck. So I'm going to be going over the main, extra, and this time I will show the side deck, and I likely will be playing this tomorrow, Monday being the day of me recording this. So all that being said, let's jump right into this deck profile. For starters, with the monsters, we have Radiant Typhoon Phonix, the Great Flame, and Radiant Typhoon for Ruron, the Vibrant Vortex. Now, you only play one of each of these because, you don't really want to open with these cards. You want to be able to, search them out or send them to the grave some way. But they are some of your two big hitters and big defender, and they have good effects. So they both share the effect that if a quick play spell is activated, you can special summon them from your hand. And the same goes if they're in a graveyard, but if you activate MST, you can summon them. And they both have different effects when you activate a quick play spell on the field. Well, the quick play spell card is resolved, I should say. A lot of cards in this deck say when a quick play is activated, but it's waiting for you to actually resolve that card. So Phonix's effect is that after a quick play spell resolves, you can target two cards your opponent controls and shuffle them back into the deck. Varuron's effect is that when you activate a quick play spell, you can, if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can negate that card, and if you have two or more MSTs in your graveyard, you can destroy that card as well. So yeah, only want to run two of these. They are level 9, so you can make rank 9 plays, being the only one, the Phantom Sky Fortress Enter Blathnir, but I don't have that. Didn't order it yet, sadly, but maybe one of my friends has it, so could probably get it from them. Next is 3 of the more important one, being Radiant Typhoon Crowsea. Now this card is what you want to see in your hand all the time. Her effect is that after a quick play spell card is resolves, be it you or your opponent, same goes for all these things, she has an effect that she can summon herself from your hand to the field. And on her summon, she searches you a Radiant Typhoon spell, a trap, and MST. So yeah, you want to maximize on playing as much as her because you can do all that in the draw phase, and that's where you want to play. Next, we have the 3 Radiant Typhoon Eldum. No, Swen, that's the other one. Now, all the level 3s that we currently have share the effect that they can summon themselves if the opponent has no back row or you have MST in your graveyard, but you can only special them once per turn. Swen's effect is that when it's summoned, you can add a Radiant Typhoon spell, a trap card, or MST to your hand. They all share that. All the level 3s share that effect that you can add this or the other thing. Next is the Eldum, and his effect is that you can search for a Radiant Typhoon monster or MST. And we only play the one of Megala because Megala is very, very, very bad. It's sad to say, but this card is legit terrible. It's one of the worst ones, but you gotta play it because of the names, and it's a free body. Megala's effect is that when you activate a Radiant Typhoon spell card, you can summon one Radiant Typhoon monster of a different name than the one you control. and then you are locked into wind monsters for the rest of the turn after that effect. Same goes for Crocy, by the way, I forgot to mention that. But again, Megala, you don't want to, yeah, it's just one of those ones. It's just a free, at this point, it's just a free bot, another free bot you can just spit out on the field for Link fodder, Xyz fodder, what have you. But you gotta play it for the name until, I wish, and by the time of me uploading this, we have gotten reveal of new Radiant cards, only being a Link monster and a new spell card as of right now, but here's hoping that we get more and that we actually have main deck monsters. For the spells, we have 3 Radiant Typhoon Chant. This is your Rhoda for the deck for your level 4 lower Radiant Typhoon monsters, or adding MST. The spell cards do the same thing, where they have a first effect and a second effect. They all share the second effect all being the you can add MST. They all also share the first effect, is that if they are destroyed by card effect, or it has to be MST exactly. Yes, if they are destroyed by MST exactly, they can set themselves back to the field. Next, you have Radiant Typhoon Vision, which is basically the Allure of Darkness for this deck. But you have to discard a Radiant Typhoon card or a quick play spell card. And next up, the MVP of itself, or MST itself, Mystical Space Typhoon. And of course, we gotta have it in the QCR, brother. Ooh, shout out to my bro, Kamon Chanel, for getting me these for the birthday. You know, shout out to him. And we have the card that brings this deck to pretty much tier 0-ish standing in Radiant Typhoon Mandate. Now this card is pretty great because it has 3 effects, but the first 2 is that you can, when you activate this, you can choose to use the effect to target 3 quick play spell cards, including a Radiant Typhoon spell, shuffle them into the deck, and then draw 1 card. And after you do that, you apply these other effects in sequence. You shuffle and draw 1, and then all your wind monsters gain 300 attack and defense for this turn. Furthermore, once per chain, when MST is activated, you can target a face-up card your opponent controls and negate its effects. So yeah, literally MST finally negates. The meme is now not a dream. That's it for the Radiant Typhoon cards. Now we go into that part of the deck. We got the 2 Runic Fountain. Allows you to play Runic cards from your hand during your opponent's turn. And when a Runic card activates, when resolves in this case, you can target up to 3 of them with different names in your graveyard, or just 3 Runic spells in your grave. Put them on the bottom of the deck in any order, and then draw that many cards that you put back on the bottom of the deck. Next is Runic Tip. All the Runic spells, as you may or may not know, they share the second effect where if your extra monster zone is empty, you can summon a Runic fusion monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. But they all have first special unique effects, and then they make your opponent banish the top card of the deck for a certain amount of cards. For this one, your opponent, you search your deck for one of your Runic cards, and then they have to banish the top card of their deck. Runic Flashing Fire destroys, you target a special summon monster on the field and then destroy it, and then they banish the top 2 cards. Freezing Curses negates one of their monsters' effects, and then they banish the top 3 cards. And Runic Destruction is basically MST, and then they banish the top 4 cards. Clearly, and after you resolve any of these Runic cards, your next battle phase is skipped, so you can't even go into it. So yeah, that's it for the Runic side of cards. Nothing more, nothing less. And now for the flex spots of the deck. The first being my own ideas that just came out of Doom of Dimensions. That being Silk Bomb Moth. Now this card is pretty cute, and it has a unique effect that does kind of help. It's also a level 6, so if you have this in Crocy, you can go into rank 6 plays much more easier. Now we'll read it out to you guys so I don't butcher it. I've only read it a few times. If you have 2 or more wind monsters in your graveyard and this card's in your hand, you can just summon this card on the field, and if you do, you shuffle a wind monster from your grave into the deck. That doesn't activate. What does activate is if this card is normal or special summon, you can reveal the top card of the opponent's deck and apply this effect based on its type. If it's a monster, you place it in the opponent's back row as a continuous spell. If it's a spell or trap card, you banish it. So it literally helps out with the Runic part of the deck, making it so they look at the top card, and if it's a monster, it goes in the back row. They sometimes may not want that, so get rid of a problematic monster, or just banishes one of their powerful spell and trap cards. Next up is the 3 Super Poly. I do got to give a shout out to the acquaintance Togar. The only other guy that I know that has this deck. He did say that going first, this is a much better card because you're playing an extra deck that doesn't really matter, so you want to be able to break the board as much as possible going second, because again, stated this is a going first deck. So Super Poly just activate, they can't do anything, summon something. So that's going to be it for the entirety of the main deck. This time I'm going to go into the side deck first before the extra deck, because side deck is still a little bit work in progress. There's one card I will take out because it does contradict with the Runic cards, but side deck is going to be 3 Fuwalos, just because, side is in against a deck that's going to go first. I'm pretty sure every deck wants to go first, and they don't want to deal with the Runic stuff. We have going first is the triple Vanity's Root Fiend. Just say nobody can special summon anything, so yeah, just summon that and just win off the back of that. We have the triple Book of Eclipse, just to bait out card effects such as Yummy. If they have Herald, they have to negate this, and even if they use Yummy Snatchy, even if they synchro summon, whatever they summon is going to be flipped face down, and its effects won't resolve because it wasn't face up. And then to stop the Draco Tail stuff and other graveyard based decks, we have the Silent Graveyard. Next, we do run the 1 Solemn Judgment. And I likely will I'm just going to take these out for strike, but I do choose to run the 3 evenly. Again, this contradicts with the Runics, because if you use them going first, you can't enter the battle phase in general. So obviously you won't side this in if you're going first, but if you're going second and you don't have Super Poly or Book of Eclipse, this will be another good card to bait out because it's not a once per turn activation. But yeah, I might keep it, might move it, depends. But gonna see how that goes. And next up is the extra deck. Now, the extra deck is another one that's very much up to your own player preference, but there are things that you do have to run. So, first and foremost being that you run double Hugin the Runic Wings. Obviously, Hugin is here to get you your field spell, and when it dies, it just gets destroyed by battle or effect. It puts itself back into the extra deck. It also has the effect to save one of your cards. Focus. There you go. If another card you control will be destroyed by an effect, you can banish this card you control instead. So yeah, keeps you safe from Lightning Storm, Feather Duster, stuff like that. For the Super Poly targets, we have the Magistus Churro, the Mud Dragon of the Swamp, and the 1 Garura, the Wing of Resident Life. And for the last Runic card we do have is the 1 Freki, mainly because if they enter battle, he can banish the top 2 cards of their deck. You take no battle damage from battles involving this, and if it's destroyed by battle or an effect, you can target a quick play Runic card and add it back to your hand. Next, we have the number 75 Bamboozling Gossip Shadow, as well as the number 3 Cicada King, both doing the exact same thing where they negate a monster effect. Gossip Shadow will draw each player a card when it negates, and Cicada King will turn something into defense and raise attack or change the battle position of a card and then raise it by 500. We also have the Draco Lark Perrin, also another idea I got from my buddy Togar. It cannot be destroyed by battle or effects while a monster other than itself is face up on the field that was summoned from the graveyard. And during the standby phase, you can detach a material from this card and target a level 5 or lower monster in your grave and summon it. So this will get you back your level 3 monsters, mainly like Swen or Eldom to help get you some searches and just keep this thing safe from battle or effects, which is actually pretty busted. I would have the Totem Bird, but I don't have it, but it is coming, so next time I will have that in this deck profile. But for the links, pretty generic. We have the IP Masquerena, the one Great Fly, which really is important for this deck, the SP Little Knight, the Wind Charmer. We have the Celine, the Queen of the Master Magicians, just to be able to climb up into the access code talker. Because if your opponent does something like hit you with a Droll or a Fuwalos, you can just summon this, steal one of them, link into this, use this effect, summon maybe this or one of your other monsters or whatever, and then just go into access code and then pop 3. That is going to be it for this deck profile of the Radiant Typhoon, aka Magnificent deck. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you guys going to be playing this deck? Are you excited to see how it performs in the meta? And are you excited for the new support that we are confirmed getting? And like I said, we have 2 new monsters, a Link monster and a new quick play spell card coming. Maybe in like the next set or 2. But all that being said, hit the like button if you enjoy it. Hit the bell for notifications. Subscribe for more. And if you want to support me monetarily, I do have links to that in the description to my Cash App, PayPal, or even Patreon, which I should do more with. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.